You know, investing can sometimes feel like you're trying to find your way through a huge, complicated maze without a map. It can be pretty overwhelming, right? Well, today we're going to talk about a company called Invest Now that basically says, hey, we can be your guide. So let's dig in and see how they plan to help you build your financial future.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? Seriously, take a second and think about it. When you close your eyes and picture your future, what do you see? Maybe it's that feeling of security, knowing you own your home. Or maybe it's the total freedom to travel the world. Or maybe it's about leaving a legacy for the people you care about. Whatever that dream is, let's be honest, building wealth is almost always a key part of making it happen. Okay, so you have the dream, but how do you actually get from here to there? That's where having a good guide can make all the difference in the world. And this is where a company like InvestNow steps onto the scene, promising to be that guide with a clear plan to help you hit those big financial goals. So what is InvestNow really? At its heart, it's a professional investment company. But what's really interesting is their dual focus. They operate in two very different worlds. You've got the super fast-paced financial markets on one side, and on the other, the solid, tangible world of real estate. Their whole mission can be boiled down to three simple things: help you build your wealth, grow it, and maybe most importantly, protect it. So how do they do it? Well, their approach isn't about chasing some hot stock tip or trying to make a quick buck. Their whole philosophy is built on a foundation of discipline and data. That means they're focused on creating real, long-term value and having a really strong handle on risk management. All of that is just a fancy way of saying they want to make sure your investments are built to last, not just for today, but for the long run. Okay, so that's a philosophy, but how does that actually translate into action? Well, InvestNow offers what they call three distinct paths to growth. Think of them as three different proven strategies for building your wealth. Let's break down exactly what each of those paths looks like. All right, path number one. This one dives headfirst into the financial markets. We're talking about things like equities, stocks, Forex, which is the global currency market, and even commodities like gold and oil. This is really the strategy for anyone who wants to be an active participant in the global economy. Now, the strategy here has two main goals. First, by spreading investments out, that's diversification, and doing some deep analysis, they're trying to get you the best possible returns for the amount of risk you're comfortable with. And second, it's all about building a resilient portfolio, one that's designed to weather the storms that you know are going to hit the market sooner or later. Now, for the second path, which shifts gears to something a little more, tangible, we're talking about real estate. This program is all about creating that long-term value through physical property and land. With real estate, the value you get comes in two main flavors. On one hand, you've got the potential for steady, stable income streams, mostly from things like rent. And on the other hand, you have the big picture goal, capital growth. That's just the value of your property going up over time. And finally, we've got path number three. You can think of this one as a hybrid approach. It's designed to really accelerate your wealth growth by taking the best of both worlds, financial markets and real estate, and blending them together. So with this approach, you end up with a blended portfolio, giving you a piece of the action in both the markets and in property. The whole idea here is to constantly monitor performance and reinvest strategically, all to hit one key outcome: consistent and, just as importantly, measurable growth over the long haul. But having great investment programs is only part of the puzzle. The Invest Now model isn't just about where you put your money. It's also about giving you the guidance and support you need for the entire journey. It's really all about empowerment. And they lay out this really clear three-step path to empowerment. It all starts with getting advice that's tailored specifically to you, making sure your investments are actually lined up with your personal goals. From there, it's about building up your own knowledge so you can become a more confident investor. And they even offer specific support for business owners who are looking to grow and expand. So building wealth is one thing, but what about protecting it? That's just as crucial, right? This next part tackles that exact question. How do you secure everything you've worked so hard to build? And that's the entire reason their wealth preservation program exists. It uses some pretty smart strategies like diversification, hedging, which you can think of as a kind of insurance policy for your investments, and even stress testing your portfolio to see how it would hold up in a bad market. The entire goal is to protect your capital and give you that long-term stability. So, if we bring it all together, what's the real value here? What makes them stand out? Well, it seems to be that mix of a professional, transparent approach,
their unique expertise in both financial markets and real estate, and a really clear focus on creating personalized strategies that are built for the long term.
You know, their whole idea is captured perfectly in this tagline: building wealth today, securing value for tomorrow. It's such a simple way to sum up that dual focus, not just on growth right now, but on security for your future. So, we've walked through who Invests Now is, what they do, and how they do it. But now, the final and most important question really turns back to you. On the path to your own financial goals, what's your next move? Because ultimately, after looking at all these different pathways and strategies, it all comes down to this one simple but powerful question: are you ready to invest in your future?